Hi there, it's Mana WR from the WGL. This footage is domination on village in Africa. Where in Africa? I have no idea. I mean, Africa is an impoverished country, and you have guys running around throwing nades and guns and just ruining everything. Their luck can't get any worse. Anyway, this is probably one of my favourite maps. I think mainly because I'm terrible at learning maps. You know, I get lost all the time. It literally takes me weeks to learn the layout of maps. But this was one of the maps that I learned pretty quickly and pretty easily, which sort of made it my favourite because I knew where the hell to go. But I am finding now that as I learn the other maps, that I'm slowly getting new favourites and stuff like that. When I first started playing this game, Dome was my favourite, simply because it was so small and even a trained monkey could find his way around there. But anyway, in this gameplay I'm using the yeah, Type 95. I'm sorry guys, I'm OP, or I like using OP guns. It's with rapid fire and the red dot sight, and I'm using the specialist perks. Yeah, I found using the specialist is fun in publics, but I've been scrimming recently in preparation for the first season of Modern Warfare 3 on the WGL, and it's not so good. I think I'll be running either the support or maybe even the assault in clan games. Yeah, I have been getting bored of the Type 95. I'm overusing this gun a lot, and recently I've been trying to quickscope, and it is a lot harder than it looks. I've been watching montages and they make it look so easy. I thought it was just a case of zooming in real quick and firing, but there's so much more to it. And I do have a new respect for quickscopers, because if you miss that first shot, you're pretty much dead, especially with you know, the stopping power added to all, you know, SMGs and assault rifles in this game. So yeah, because I have been scrimming a lot, and I have found that the quality compared to, you know, playing your average clan, even your average clan, yeah, to playing in publics is so much different, because I've just been used to, you know, going in publics and just raping face because you're playing a lot of casual players. But as soon as you start scrimming with, you know, decent players, or, you know, people working together as a clan, I'm just getting destroyed. So you have to play a lot more stealthily. You can't be so cocky and running into choke points thinking you're just going to outgun people, because you know, when you're scrimming against other clans, they are roughly the same standard as you. So yeah, that was a bit of a shock to the system. So definitely I'm going to scrim more and avoid playing, you know, publics as often, and just get those clan matches going. Right, I did have a topic I wanted to talk about, and it was kind of funny how I thought about it. Basically, a few days ago I logged in and I couldn't really talk for some reason, so I just logged into my clanmates in an Xbox Live party, and they were playing a game, and I was just listening. You know, I wasn't paying too much attention, but then I realized that the only thing they were saying, they weren't communicating about, you know, an enemy here, or I'm here, or help me cat B. Instead, it was just a constant stream of rage. It was like, oh my god, you spongy, you know, you sponge so much, or my bullets aren't registering, or I hate this game. And I wish I had recorded it, and played it back to my clanmates, and I just said, you guys just sound like, you know, so whiny. So that's my question. Do you guys rage a lot, or are you more laid back? When do you rage, and do you rage quit? Me personally, I take, you know, I like to take things on the chin. I do rage, but in a quiet kind of way. I'll say the usual things like, oh my god, or what the hell was that, you know. But the language that some of my clanmates come out with, you know, I can't repeat it in this video, but it's so hostile. I'm thinking, guys, it's just a game, and they moan about quick scoping and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's really difficult. Maybe are they more passionate about the game than I am, or are they just more aggressive? I think you know, my clanmates, I love them to bits, and you know, I've met some of them in real life, and most of them are mellow and chilled out kind of guys. But I just find it funny how, you know, a game can just bring out raw aggression in you. So, you know, I have heard them rage about connection, which is understandable because this game does have connection issues and lag. Actually, you know, the funniest thing is when the amount of times I've heard them say, "What the hell? I'm round the corner." I guess you guys all know what I'm talking about when you're round the corner, where you appear round the corner, but you know you still die. But that was prevalent in Black Ops as well. Run out of f***ing things to talk about. What? Yeah, I'm back. I had a brain freeze. Anyway, back to quickscoping. Yeah, it was pretty hard. It wasn't as easy as I expected, but I did have help from a guy called Rory Price. He's a fellow gamer. He's in a clan called BTR. He also competes in the WGL. He's a pretty good player. So he took me aside and said, he basically said, "You're doing it all wrong, Manna. This is how you do it." So I took his tips, and then I sniped, I think, for the next couple of maps. And yeah, it was pretty good. And I think he noticed how awesome I was at picking this up, and he foolishly challenged me to a 1v1. He basically tried to call me out. So we did a 1v1 on Dome. I won't tell you guys the result, but we have capped it, and I think the next video will be a dual commentary. So look out for that in the next few days. Anyway, back to this footage. If you notice where I am, I'm hanging around CDOM a lot, and at CDOM there's this Jeep with, you know, it's on a little mound of African rubbish. I don't know what it is, but yeah, you can actually cover this spawn point that I'm shooting at right now, and you can also cover the riverbed. And this is where I just sort of camped, because once I realized we were, you know, we had a steady lead, especially if you're holding B and C, you can just, you know, honestly, you can just one bomb, and they'll literally line up sometimes in terms of a turkey shoot. So yeah, I definitely recommend, you know, especially in publics. I don't think it'll work in scrims because yeah, they're a bit more wiser to it. But yeah, see, you know, just like that, you can just rack up the kills. The only disadvantage I find from standing here is, although you can cover those 2 points, there is the area, I call it Pride Rock, but it's like that little cliffy overhang by Domination A, and they can clearly see you if you venture out too far. And like I've mentioned, I think in a previous video, because these domination flags don't go transparent, you can't really see if they're there or not. You basically have to look really closely and try and guess where they are, because they're blending in with the Domination A flag. Oh, I think you guys have noticed, what the hell is this guy doing? Look, it's like a Benny Hill comedy sketch, us both trying to go through the same door. But yeah, at least he backed out. Yeah, you guys might have noticed that there is some background music. It's from an artist called Claypex, who I've been linking a lot in my videos. He is he's pretty awesome, and he's very kind enough to give permission to use his music in my videos. But yeah, I guess some of you might know what's about to happen, but yeah, I'll end the commentary here. I hope you guys enjoy. Oi midgets, I did it again!